What's up, everybody? We back. R2C2, another week. What's good?
Welcome back, my friend. How was crashing the winter meetings?
Oh, it was good. It was good. I'll never go back. Never in my life will I go back to that shit, bro. Unless it's in a city where I don't have to be at the hotel and I can just go play golf.
Okay.
I know Amber's gonna have to be there, in future, but yeah, that's not for me. It's too many fucking randoms. Like,
yeah,
it is a shit show. Like a shit show.
So you're walking through the lobby getting stopped every 5 feet.
Every fucking 2 inches, bro.
Oh my gosh.
We walked in there Sunday night and in the lobby and I had my bags and I looked at Amber and I was like, nah, we can't stay here. We turned around and got a different hotel.
Really?
Yeah. It's like that. It's that much. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, man.
It's crazy.
That's you know what else too, man? Like there's no way for you to hide, right? Like you're
not me.
6'7", 6'8". What are you?
6'7". Yeah.
Yeah, 6'7". I mean, you're 6'7". You can't hide.
There's no
nothing,
hiding, bro.
There's no like, oh, I'm gonna put on you can't even like put on a mask, which is a nice tactic these days. But you can't do that.
Man, as soon as I hit that lobby, bro, it was a shit show. Show.
So did it impede your ability to gather rumors the way that you set out to do for R2C2? Because you were going to be our special assignment reporter.
Yeah. No, I got some good intel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got some good rumors and shit, but I mean, everything happened. You know what I'm saying? Like Judge ended up signing. I think all the Trey Turner, the dominoes kind of fell.
Yeah.
The big ones anyway. I mean, we still got Correa out there, probably gonna end up at the Giants, but yeah, I mean, I think the big one was Judgy, and then the whole rumor that he was going to San Diego, which was not true. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy.
Was there ever a time when you thought Judge was going to leave?
Me personally, no. But I think there was a time when the Yankees believed that he was going to leave.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But like me personally, no. I mean, there's no other place to play, cuz. Like, you can say all the shit. The only reason I didn't think it was real is because it was the Giants. If it was the Dodgers, then we would have had a problem. But like, you can't go from the Yankees historically to, no offense, you can't go to the Giants, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the fucking same. It'll never be the same. And, I knew Judgy understood that right away. Like I said, had he been a free agent, we were trying to lure him to New York.
Right.
It would have been a different story. But him coming up here and understanding what it means to play in the Bronx and put that uniform on, he wasn't going to play for the fucking Giants, bro. Period. I'm sorry. Like, it was never going to happen, cuz.
You know what's last week, obviously, because you were with the commissioner, we didn't get a chance to hear you talk about him coming back, and I talked about it, and then we talked with John Morosi. But the thing I said was, I was like, Judge played it perfectly for getting the best deal possible while staying. Like, that is exactly how he had to play it to maximize his deal while staying where he was. Because
what's crazy
it felt
is that,
like there was a threat he could leave,
Yeah, but I don't think I think that was just a ruse. Like, he wanted everybody to feel like that there was a threat that he could leave. I don't think he ever wanted to actually go anywhere. And I think, him playing it well was just him not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kept quiet, went on his one trip to San Francisco, and, that was kind of it. So it was it was good in a way that they just kept quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and kind of let the bidding play itself out. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think that's the perfect way to play free agents, especially when you have big market teams in the mix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you have teams that can pay a lot of money, like the Giants said they weren't going to get outbid, the Dodgers and the Yankees, it's best just to stay mum and let those guys ponder over what other offer you got. And then, the Yankees will keep raising their offer, raising their years after speculation of, what other teams are offering. So it was perfect.
Yeah, man. I think that's so well said. And it's, you ultimately see, like what you just said, the way you put it, like, of course he like had to stay. Like, that's the 30,000 foot view that I do think is like we all kind of felt, right? Like, this isn't just some guy who was talented and happened to be a Yankee. This is the guy who's like, this up and coming generation's Mr. Yankee. It would have felt so weird for him to go somewhere else, man. All of a sudden, I use this term a lot, but my sports universe would have felt like it was off its axis. And I truly believe he would have regretted that forever, because it's not just that he's a Yankee. You've described many times how unique that experience is and how high level that is. But it's also that, like, he is a generational Yankee. That is a really rare thing.
Very, very, very rare thing for him to be in the position that he's in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't come around that. I mean, it was Donnie Baseball and then Jeter and now this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't, these type of players don't come around that often. And I think, he had to recognize, I think Robbie Cano, and I haven't talked to him about it, but I think he still regrets not staying here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can't walk out of the door here, bro. Like, when I was a free agent that one year and I had those offers to go play, I'm like, no fucking way will I go play in Toronto or Minnesota, then come back here and lose in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you don't leave New York, bro. Like, it's always a regret.
I always say this too, like, when people are like, oh, there was more money. It's like, okay, but what are you doing with that money, right? Like, what is changing? Now, it's one thing if it's not competitive, right? Like, then I get it. But if somebody's saying, like, 360 versus 400, okay, is that extra $40 million changing your life more than the difference between playing or not playing for the Yankees? And I mean, for Aaron, I don't think it ever came down to that kind of equation, but I'm just speaking more generally when people talk about that. Like, see, I know you had offers for more money to go to those other places you mentioned, right? But you knew for your life, like, an extra $4 million is not worth the difference between you staying a Yankee or not in that moment.
Yeah, because you make all that up when you're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's my documentary or doing the book or people listening to this podcast, you know what I'm saying? Because of the Yankee fan base, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bigger thing when you can retire and play your whole career. And I mean, people even like correlate me as a Yankee. I played there 12 years, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a special thing to have people recognize you for the pinstripes that you wore. So, and it very rarely happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it very rarely happens where people just correlate you to that one franchise. And, it's a cool thing to have in retirement. And I think, guys are starting to understand that.
It's interesting you just saying that, see? Like, when Jeter used to always get asked, like, how he wants to be remembered or whatever, and he would just say, like, honestly, I just want to be remembered as a Yankee. Like, that was always good enough for me. And I kind of got it, like, that association. But that's cool. Like, if you think about it, it's true. Like, you are seen as a Yankee. Like, even though you spent the first however many years of your career somewhere else, that's got to be cool.
No, it's a dope thing to be a part of that history, a part of that franchise. Like, the coolest piece of memorabilia that I have is that picture of Whitey, Gator, Pettit, and myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the fuck else you gonna get like a line of, you know what I'm saying, of lefties like that, where the history of the Yankees coincides with the history of fucking baseball, cuz?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you do some cool shit as a Yankee, like, it's gonna be up there in the MLB record books. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at, Judge broke the Yankee record for home runs in a season. And everybody want to call that the MLB record, which is not. The record is 73. But, because he did it as a Yankee, it holds more weight.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Are there, do you feel strongly about any of the moves that are lingering out there that could be made? Is there anything you definitely would like to see happen, or any fits that you're like, oh, this fits, and it doesn't just have to be a Yankee, any team where you're like, oh, this guy who's still available as of Tuesday afternoon, this would be a home for them.
Yeah, what's crazy is that just the Correa, domino is like, people, he's kind of shut off his market, right? Where the teams that kind of need him can't bring him in because of the fan base. Where it's like the Dodgers will probably pay this guy to play shortstop for him for a long time, but the fans will fucking hate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an odd thing to me. Like, I want to see where he ends up, and if he ends up on a long-term deal, just because he has so many people that in the fan bases in these markets that don't like him.
Would you ever, if you were Correa, and you saw, like last year, he was kind of able to maximize his AAV by taking that short deal, right? Would you ever consider like that being your path here instead of signing an 8-year deal, being like, you know what, I'm just going to keep signing, 3-year deals with an opt out after one, where I'm making where it's up to me. I could always stay the 3 years, but I'm making $40 million a year. Something like that.
That's just puts a lot of pressure on yourself year after year. You know what I'm saying? To put up monster years, to put yourself in another position to get another short-term deal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you play these seasons and you do these things to be, stable and have a place where you can kind of call your organization. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's odd. It's odd to me that he's so young and such a good player and he can't find a home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. He's so good too, man, and he's October proven, and I mean,
he's perfect for the Dodgers, guys.
He is. He is perfect for the Dodgers.
Like, he's perfect for the Dodgers, but like they can't go out and give him an 8-year, 9-year deal.
Right.
And right now, with the way that the years are looking, with Bogarts getting 11, Nimmo getting 8, Judge getting 9, and Trey Turner, you got to get this guy a 14-year deal, cuz. He's the youngest out of all the free agents by far.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy. That's the thing too. He's still so young.
He's still so young.
How about the way the Mets are spending, man?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, they just gonna have to keep everybody healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got those 2 older starters at the top. I would have loved to see them sign back maybe Bassett or Walker.
Yeah.
For me, I would have signed both of those guys back and kept that money from Verlander and spent it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because you don't know what you're going to get out of a 39-year-old starter. I mean, I know he wasn't a Cy Young last year, but fuck, man. How long can you keep doing that shit? Look at Scherzer in the playoffs and at the end of the year last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the place to not perform in October, because these motherfuckers will boo you. These motherfuckers will boo you violently. I watched it with fucking Scherzer last year in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Kate Upton had that quote about going to play for the Mets where they don't boo you off the field, but let JV have a couple bad games. They're going to boo that motherfucker right out of Queens, guys. This is New York City, man. They will boo him right out that motherfucker.
Well, especially when you're hired for this purpose.
Yes, and especially when you're not a Yankee or a Met. You know what I'm saying? Like, DeGrom is going to always get passes. Because he, you know what I'm saying? Whoever else. But these guys coming in, higher guns, you better fucking put up.
Right. Like, when people say, like, oh, I've even heard Mariano Rivera get booed or Derek Jeter get booed or whatever, it's like, yeah, but it was like these very fleeting, like, everybody kind of was like, oh, why do we do that? We feel gross. And like, it doesn't happen often. You know what I mean? It's like you get a real built-in cushion when you are one of our own here.
Yes.
Like, same thing with like Judge, like fans, like, is there a circumstance where you get booed? Yeah, we've heard it. But like, it takes a lot. Like, I agree with you, C. Like, Verlander getting paid all that money coming in, now maybe he's just going to shove and it's not going to matter. But if for some reason he didn't, those fans aren't going to like consider what he did other places.
They don't give a fuck about that. Like, they need him to come into Queens and pitch well. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So for me, I mean, I would have I think I would have signed Walker and Bassett back, or maybe even Rodón and Bassett, or some combination of, getting 2 starters.
Yeah.
After losing DeGrom. But, we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, we're going to see. I hope the Yankees sign Rodón, just because I feel like lefty starter, he's got some, got some shit about him, you know?
He definitely has that where you can give him the ball in any stadium and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, he can put on the pinstripes and be perfectly fine. Just like Lance Lynn. Like, he's got a lot of fuck you in him. You know what I'm saying? Which is great.
I like that, man. I like that. No, it was a great little period for baseball. See, I know you and I have been so into this World Cup as well. It's just been so, dude, this past weekend, the quarterfinals were unbelievable. Those games were unbelievable. And I literally had the perfect days for it because I had Mavs Bucks Friday, and then I had Nets Pacers Saturday. And I literally, when I'm on a game day, I just sit in my hotel room and do prep. And I usually put something on in the background. So I literally had the games on the entire time as I did prep. It was so good, man.
It was. The quarterfinals were awesome. I mean, really the knockout stage all together. You know what I'm saying? It's been really good. It's been some great games, and a lot of these games have been ended on PKs, so that's awesome too to have that drama.
Dude, England is going to regret that forever. I was shocked that they actually outplayed France, but they did. They had so many. Forget not just the Kane miss PK, which I could see how difficult that is.
No, Maguire has so many shots.
So many shots,
shit
man.
Is wild, bro.
So many shots. French goalie was fantastic.
He was. He has been all World Cup this whole month. He's been playing lights out.
And the Croatian goalie is next level, man.
Yo, you know what's crazy about Croatia is like they don't do anything like spectacular, but they're always right there and always putting pressure on the other team. I mean, they were in the final in 2018, so it's obviously a good team, but like it's just they're an underdog in every fucking game they go into, and they end up coming out on top.
Dude, when you remember when I used to take my European guys trips all the time that you make fun of me for?
Yeah.
Before I was married, and now I'll never have one of those again. So
Thank God.
When I went to Croatia with my buddies Aaron and Troy was hilarious. So Troy is a diehard soccer fan. I've told you before, Troy is the most knowledgeable sports fan I've ever met in my life. He just like knows everything. And when we went to Croatia, it was summer of 2018. It was just after the World Cup. And like whenever we'd be walking around Croatia and like we had a few, like Troy's thing was he would just start like being like Rakitic, Modric. Like he would just go through like saying every name of like these dudes who have like, I don't know, they're just like these names that stick with you, But it's like, it's funny watching them now. Rakitic is no longer, I don't think, and Atta, you could check me on this, but like I don't think he's a part of the squad anymore. But like Modric is still like he's still very much like a key piece, I haven't attempted to say the goalie's name yet, though. I have not. It's just like he has been amazing, though. So, all right, I think we could do this. We're recording Tuesday afternoon, just before Croatia, Argentina. Yep. Then tomorrow is Morocco and France. Do you have any predictions for these games? See, our audience will just know whether or not we were smart or not.
Man, I would love to see France and Argentina, obviously, right? Messi and Mbappe in the final.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way we're going to get that. You know what I'm saying?
One of those sides is going to get.
We're going to get that shit, cuz. Yeah. So I think I'm going Argentina, Morocco.
I think we're going to get. Who was number 7 on Argentina? He was fantastic in that last game.
Atta's going to have to tell us that.
Yeah, Atta will tell us who number 7 is. He played so well. But I think Rodrigo de Paul. There we go. I think that Croatia is going to win, and then I think France is going to win. I think we're going to get a rematch, man.
A rematch? Wow.
I think we're going to get a rematch. Doesn't happen often, but I think we're going to get a rematch.
Mbappe's so fucking good, cuz. Like he's so fast.
England had like 3 or 4 guys like on him all the time. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
It was insane. I mean, and then looking, like watching England play France, right? Those guys are so fucking big.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Whether it's Rashford coming in late, like I can't believe he didn't start first of all, but like it's been like just looking at our squad compared to other squads.
Yeah.
Like we need some of our DBs in the NFL or some of these guys to start playing fucking soccer, bro.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're never gonna match up. Like in the box or off a set piece, you got Harry Kane and Maguire in the box. Like we got no chance of fucking defending that.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just too small, cuz. Like, our squad is too small.
It's kind of what the Netherlands did in that game, right? Like, at the end of the game, they just have these massive dudes, and Messi complained about it, right? Like, and they just started firing balls into the box and using their size, which that Argentina-Netherlands game was absolutely incredible. That set piece to tie the game right before the end of stoppage time was just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I mean, the Brazil game.
I was about to say, watching Brazil go down was crazy too.
Crazy, man. The fact that they score, and that goal was spectacular. They score in the whatever it was, 103rd minute or 110th minute, whatever it was. And then Croatia gets the equalizer. Crazy, man.
The shit was sick.
It was sick, man. It was sick. It was sick. I'm jealous of Atta, our producer, who went to Qatar to see these games. It's been an amazing World Cup. Those are our predictions for the semis. We'll obviously come back before the final and recap. See, I also
if we get France and fucking Argentina, this would be like a all time. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be sick, bro.
It'd be like that's like there. I don't even. What would be the equivalent of that? Like it's so much bigger than any single country league. You know,
it's no equivalent to it.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
My gosh. And I feel like we almost deserve it because like all the matchups we've wanted to have happen, like keep coming up short, right? Like we wanted Brazil, Argentina, didn't happen. You know, you wanted to get Spain, Argentina would have been, I think, in the quarters, right? Didn't happen. Like so, I mean, we keep getting these like almost moments that hopefully this time it actually comes through. But let's see what we got. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, every World Cup. This is a great point from Atta. Every World Cup's been won by South America or Europe. We know Morocco's the first African team in the semis. Crazy, man. Like and I don't think many people are going to give them a chance against France, but they keep winning. So like we'll see. I also do just want us to say, send our love to Grant Wahl and his family. I mentioned this on the air the other night when the news broke, and I was doing an NBA game with JJ Redick. But Celine Gounder, his wife, is someone, and I could be pronouncing her last name incorrectly, and I apologize if I am. But she's someone who I really relied upon during the pandemic. She's an infectious disease specialist who I think really built a huge following during this period by being such a smart, well-researched, level-headed outlet for all of us. And Grant is someone who's written so many key stories on so many athletes in our country. You know, he certainly had an incredible impact on the popularity of soccer in our country and the way he publicized women's soccer specifically. But also just think about some of these big stories. Like he was the one who did the first big story on JJ Redick at Duke. He's the one who did
LeBron too.
Yeah. LeBron story, man. And we'll find out if anything else went on there, man. But just tragic stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, awful. So want to send love out to the Wahl family and Celine and her loved ones. The other thing that we have cooking right now is we have winning basketball in our city right now, man. Do you see this? The Nets have gotten red hot for an extended period of time. They're now 17-12. They've won 4 straight. They've won 8 of 10. They have, I think, found a rhythm. Kyrie talked about it, just like how they cut out the distractions since he came back, and they're just playing ball. And they're really deep, and they're really good. And it's funny because I still hear people talk about them and say like, oh, the Nets, like, oh, what a disaster. And I'm like, well, I know they had early drama, but do you see they're actually like playing really well now? And then the Knicks, dude, they just looked brutal after they were giving up 130 at home night after night. It seemed like they couldn't win a home game. Now got Quentin Grimes back. Julius Randle's playing more like the guy we saw a couple of years ago. They've won 4 straight, man. We got some good ball going on in the city.
Which is great, man. I think I keep saying it, this is a basketball town. So if these teams are good and make deep runs in the playoffs, it's going to be a lot of fun coming to spring. So, we'll see. Have to see. I have to get to a couple of games. I haven't been to a game yet.
Has anything else struck you NBA-wise where you're like, I mean, are you at all surprised at the Pelicans being this good right now, winning 7 in a row? No.
Not really. No, because, that young team, Brandon Ingram was primed and ready to take this next step. Zion being healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people, and even me, I think people forget how good he is when he's healthy and he's able to move around and play. Like, he can actually fucking hoop, man. And then getting CJ McCollum to actually like corral all of that talent and those personalities, I think they got a winning formula. I think they're going to be really good for a long time.
I really like Willie Green too, their head coach.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped seeing them do. I would love to see a New Orleans Memphis playoff series.
Right, that shit would be sick. Now I want to see New Orleans play the Suns.
Oh yeah, with the little drama,
bro. Like, I hate teams that lose and cry. Get the fuck off the court. You lost, bro. Why would you care about what somebody else is doing? The game's fucking over. You lost. You have 48 minutes to do something about it. Don't cry about the last 5 seconds of the game. Shut the fuck up and get off the court. Shit is stupid, bro. It's always motherfuckers who lose that's crying about the other team's celebration. Shut the fuck up.
I'm with you. I am with you.
Shit is stupid.
I am with you, C. I always feel that way of like, I would much rather just like internalize it. If it bothers you, fine. But internalize it and then just go win next time.
It should bother you losing more than what the other team's doing in their celebration.
Yeah.
Like, be mad about the loss. Don't be mad about motherfucker doing the sickest in-game dunk I've ever seen in my life, by the way. That shit was insane.
Ridiculous, man.
That shit was insane, guys.
Ridiculous, man.
Get the fuck off the floor, fucking Phoenix. Get the fuck off the court.
Oh, my
fucking
gosh.
Assholes.
That was ridiculous, man.
That shit was sick, guys. Yeah. That was the sickest dunk I've ever seen in the game.
Oh, my gosh. Well, hey, if Phoenix holds as the 4 seed, and New Orleans holds as the 1, which, by the way, obviously,
that's not going to happen.
A million things can happen between now and then. But then they would be the teams that would meet in the semis. I mean, in the conference semis.
In the conference semis, yeah.
Yeah, which would be sick, man. That would be so sick.
It's been good, like, since the World Cup's come on. Like, sports has gotten really good because there's just so much shit happening. You got baseball with a lot of action in the Judge signing and free agency and shit.
Yep.
Obviously, the World Cup is the biggest story in sports. But then it also just keeps you on SportsCenter. So now I'm watching more basketball. Obviously, football's been good. But, like, the NFL's got to do a better job with these Sunday, Thursday, Monday games.
Yeah.
They have been fucking awful, cuz.
Yeah.
Like, the primetime games have not been good at all.
Yeah. I wonder.
Like, they've been fucking hard to watch. They got to flex off of some of these fucking teams, man. Like, nobody want to watch the fucking
Raiders
Cardinals play on Monday night, bro. The Raiders.
Giants.
Like, we don't deserve a fucking... No. I told you y'all not making the playoffs,
I agree with you. We're not. We had it, but you know what?
No.
I had more of a season than I've had in a long time. So I feel like a satisfied customer.
What is that going to do for you?
Yeah, it gave me a few weeks to watch football. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, so now you're going to be in the same spot you was last year.
Well, that's
September.
True. That's basically true. But I'll feel better about it because I actually like had games I cared about in December.
It'll be the same team, cuz.
We need like some actual playmakers, man.
Yeah, you do. You need a quarterback, guys.
I'm fine with the quarterback. We're gonna disagree on that one. I mean, look, I would take an elevation there, but I'm okay with the quarterback. I want him to have some actual wide receivers to throw to.
Nah, it's not good enough.
Oh
bro.
My gosh. We'll see. We'll be back in advance of the World Cup final. We'll have another episode leading into Christmas. But it's good to have you back from the winter meetings. I'm sorry you were harassed the way you were in the hotel.
Oh, man, I'm never doing that shit again.
You guys know the deal. New episodes every Thursday, bonus episodes as well. Make sure you're following our YouTube channel at R2C2. It's free to subscribe to it, so just go ahead and do it. And you can get our pod wherever you get your pods. Big thanks to Sadie, Atta, and Jackson. Peace, everybody.
Peace.